So here's what I'm looking at after today. Well, first off, with a little bit of intermarket analysis, yesterday with the market, really nothing happened. Like that was yesterday. We finished down like 3 points. Today we're down like 15. But while nothing really happened, like the Dow was down 30 yesterday. Yeah, sorry, my charts are all cluttered up, but nothing happened in the major three indices that people were looking at. But in the Russell 2000, the small caps, it was down 2%. It had a huge drop that day for some reason. That was showing some weakness in the market, which obviously has translated into today's move in the S&P and like the Dow and the Nasdaq. So what I want to talk about is specifically the Russell today. So what I'm seeing, if we go into this 60-day chart here, we're seeing what looks like a very large head and shoulders pattern right here that looks like it wants to break out any second. So with this pattern, we have our first shoulder right there, our second shoulder right here, and then kind of a head right there. So it is a fairly ugly pattern, but still it works. Another thing that we could do is we could also say that there was a channel that gave us our first warning signal of an impending decline, and that happened, well, if I just draw this channel right here, that happened right here on about like the 23rd of July. So I'm not going to care about the channel so much right now, but this entire head and shoulders pattern right here. Now you see I already drew the neckline at the bottom, so the key level that the Russell needs to hold is about 765. And if it breaks below there, our immediate target is going to be down here around 710 bucks. Okay, so I did that much, and let's just jump into a 2-hour time frame so we can see it a little more clearly. And I want to actually take a look at the volume that we're seeing. So if I jump out of here and go to a simple 1-month chart, or we'll go with a 3-month so we can actually see everything, what I want to see is, we'll just do the 60-day. That'd be a little easier. I want to see declining volume on the second advance. So if we say that this right here is going to be the head part, and it goes from there to there, while the price advances, we want to see the volume declining. And sure enough, that is what we see. We see volume declining here, and then as we start, as we keep going here, we're staying low on volume, and then as we start to move down, you see that the actual volume starts to increase slowly until we have what looks like to be a little bit of a spike right here. And now the thing that we want to look for is we want to look for increasing volume if it would break out to the downside. Okay, so it's a good head and shoulders pattern. So what are we actually going to keep an eye on? So if I jump into my momentum studies, we'll do the RSI and the momentum. And I'm going to take a quick look at this. And now I'm on a daily chart. With the RSI, this is going to be our key level. So I'm on the daily chart using the 14-day RSI on the Russell 2000. And what we need to keep an eye on is this 40 level. In a bear market, we normally expect price to bounce off the 60 level right here at the top side, and that uses that level as a resistance point. And in a bull market, we expect it to use the 40 point as support. So you see that once it hit this green line on, that would be July 24th, it hit the 40 point and rebounded. So now it's coming back down to test it again. And if it doesn't break there, then yeah, it might be a good buying opportunity. But if we jump into here, we're seeing that momentum is essentially deteriorating. So if we move back and try to get any overbought, oversold levels, in the last 2 years, our oversold level would be anywhere below -50 on this chart, which corresponds to an average of about, I think that would be 5 points per day. And that's just the instantaneous momentum. So we do have some room to the downside to go before we reach that oversold territory. and we're going to just have to keep an eye on this right here. So what's probably going to drive it? We want to see what the unemployment report is going to be tomorrow. If it's bad, then I'd advise short selling, buying credit default swaps or something. So that's what I'm looking at right now. Keep an eye on the Russell, and looks like things are starting to come back now, but we'll see how the market closes. Last hour of trading, last few days, has been pretty tenuous. All right? Thanks for watching.